Thank you, NIU, for this wonderful honor. Very proud and humbled today to be recognized. Never would have imagined almost 30 years ago when I got my finance degree, and then a few years later got the MBA. So I guess a double husky, it sounds like that's what we call them, that I would be up here. Lots transpired since then, both personally and professionally. And when I look back on my career, and where it's taken me, it's become very clear that the education and that the professors taught me were profoundly positive effect and a huge amount of impact both on me personally, but on my family, my clients, my colleagues, in the various communities that Savant, my business that I co-founded, serves. I'm a numbers guy, being a finance grad and an analytical type, but the reality is as you try to put things through the numbers to sort of quantify, the benefit, it's hard to do that, but it's one of those things where you just know the impact has been huge. I thought maybe just the best way to explain this stuff that's hard to quantify is just to share a little bit of a story about how NIU's made a big difference, not only in my life, but the lives of those that I care about. So just a little bit about my story. My parents brainwashed me from a very small age that I was going to college. It was never a matter if, it was a matter of where. The key thing is that I was the oldest of 6 kids, middle-class family, stay-at-home mom. So attending Harvard or private school or even out-of-state school just wasn't in the cards. And while some people, college-bound people attend Ivy League or private schools, it really wasn't until I was on the NIU Foundation Board that I learned that, in contrast, NIU really is focused on providing a top education to really the aspiring students next door. Many of those, including me, being first-generation college students. Frankly, I didn't realize that as a student, but it really struck me when I was on the board and came to understand, what a large percentage of NIU students are, oftentimes the first in their family to graduate from school. This is really where I was. In my case, like many students, why'd I come to NIU? Well, because it was nearby, it fit my budget, and and it had a business school that embraced me as a transfer student from a community college. Kind of bottom line, NIU gave me access to a phenomenal educational system that was really 2 things. It was accessible and of the highest quality. And I think that's the beauty of NIU. Those, being accessible and affordable and of the highest quality are not mutually exclusive. And so when I look back and say, why did it work for me? What stands out is it wasn't necessarily the standard business curriculum, which of course was invaluable in teaching me the skills to build and run a business. But it was really, as much as anything, the experiences that I had and the insights and encouragement that I'd had from several professors that really made a difference. Just for as an example, as an undergraduate, I took a marketing course, and we had a group project. We had to go adopt a company in the community and build a marketing plan. So we worked for Saucy's, which was a fast food restaurant, and we supercharged their sales. Remember sticking, flyers under dorm doors, promoting their food. The lessons I learned from that became invaluable because, of course, in our business, a whole lot of it is, attaining clients and marketing. During graduate school, I was fortunate to be a TA, and this, of course, helped pay the bills. But as much as anything, when you have to teach finance, in this case, you have to really understand it. So simple concepts like time value of money that as an undergrad you blew over, you actually had to read those formulas and understand them and teach them. And so I think, that really did have impact. I mean, I can actually do future value calculations without my calculator, still to this day, and occasionally do it. Although it's now that you can do it on your phone, I usually don't have to. I think the other part, as a TA, it was the ability to do public speaking. It's an important part of what we do as a CEO of an organization, and it was something that I never in 1,000 years I would have done, but as a TA, you learn how to do that. I wasn't an accounting major, I was a finance major, but as part of my MBA, I realized, hey, if I just take one more course, this CPA review course, I could take the CPA. And I never really wanted to be a CPA, but I knew it was a skill set that was valuable in that it provided credibility, but it also provided a skill set that, as I read the financials and think about, financial management of my own business, it's invaluable today. And, NIU had at the time, it was the number 2 top-rated, pass rate on the CPA exam. Again, something that I wouldn't have been able to do without NIU. And then I think the other thing I think back is sort of like today. I mean, internships and experiences are a huge part of the curriculum. I was encouraged to do that even 30 years ago. I remember doing a couple internships. One was an insurance sales job, and what that taught me is I never wanted to do that as a career. But it also taught me about selling. It also had a role in a local brokerage firm, which ended up really, combined with the education I had, kind of gave me a blueprint to build what we did today, which really kind of leads to my last, point on that front. Maybe the most notable fact was that while I was doing my MBA, I did a self-study course. Dr. Jerry Jensen, who's was a mentor. I also worked for him as a TA, and he really served as the sounding board and inspiration to me to build the business plan that literally I used to build Savant in the last 30 years. So if you read the business plan today, it's amazingly close to what we have. That firm now has 150 professionals. We manage over $6 billion and have worked with over 5,000 clients and many companies. So it's just that's as maybe as tangible of an example as I can point to around literally that MBA live helped me build that business plan that converted to our firm and our success. So I think without these experiences, at the end of the day, and what I learned at NIU, this wouldn't have been possible. What really worked for me was, NIU provided an academic framework, but also a framework for business that let me bridge sort of academia and the real world. And I think this foundation, combined with obviously lots of hard work, time, really positioned us for success. And with the support of the family and the collaboration of my many colleagues, of which a huge disproportional number are Huskies, we've been really able to execute on a shared vision that has really truly moved the dial for thousands of people in the communities we serve. So I'm very thankful that Savant has helped make me the person I am, and with also now being on the foundation board, it's just wonderful to see how the top education I benefited from is now also being enjoyed by the next generation of business students, including a great number of them that are first generation college graduates like me. Thank you, NIU, for the influence you had on my life, directly and indirectly, on the lives of my family, my colleagues, my clients, and many others. And also want to thank my parents and my wife Sharon and family and colleagues at Savant because without you all, our success wouldn't be possible. Thank you very much. Go Huskies.